Hello again, movie buffs. It's your all-around favorite host, Hannah Mitchell, back to serve you up some more great flicks for your next screening party. I'm here to bring you a brand new segment focused solely on sequels titled Who Wants Seconds? I know I always do. In this episode, we will be discussing the topic of whether the following movies complement or downright disappoint their predecessors. So sit back, relax, and let's get rolling on this episode of Movie Checklist. Legally Blonde, Red, White, and Blonde. You know a movie is a success when you wait only 2 years to make a sequel. Legally Blonde, Red, White, and Blonde follows the story of Elle Woods, a spunky young blonde who is determined to have her voice heard in Washington, D.C. Whether she is with her spoon or without her spoon, Reese Witherspoon's acting is once again spot on. Her character, Elle, seeks out to find the mother of her dog Bruiser and is shocked to find out that Bruiser's mom is currently being used for animal testing. Elle is committed to having her say about animal rights, but she is ignored by politicians and quickly learns that the White House can be very stubborn. Sounds like not much has changed since 2003. Stream this movie, Legally Blonde, on a Netflix account closest to you. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. We all know of the classic film centered around the death trap of a Monopoly board that is Jumanji, debuting almost 25 years ago in 1995. As the times change, so do our perceptions of what entertainment means to us. The board game Jumanji has become obsolete, and in order to reign terror once more, it has to adapt and upgrade to keep up with today's youth. Now imagine if some adults had the same dedication as an evil board game to reach the younger generations, only in movies, I guess. And so the Jumanji video game is born, sucking in 4 lucky contestants that must fight to survive as they are swallowed into the world of Jumanji. Tag along with a superstar lineup consisting of The Rock, Kevin Hart, Nick Jonas, Karen Gillan, and Jack Black. You will be rolling the dice on scenes that will either have you gasping for air or moments that'll for sure take your breath away. Indeed, a fresh breath at that. For this movie is no ordinary sequel. What's great about this flick is the fun adventure and originality that pay homage to the first Jumanji and leave fans wishing to play in another round in the future threequel. Rent or own both the sequel and the original now on Xfinity On Demand. Jaws 2. Everyone is familiar with Jaws, the epic tale about a killer great white shark off the coast of New England. Viewers really got to know Police Chief Martin Brody, who was played by Roy Scheider, as he was determined to hunt down the killer and make the beaches of Amity Island safe again. Well, Scheider is back in Jaws 2 when he finds new trouble in the Amity water. The town Mayor Vaughn, played by Murray Hamilton, wants to get rid of the town's poor reputation and is convinced that Chief Brody is just suffering from PTSD. Well, let me tell you something, movie buffs. I sure was. Don't get me wrong, I love Jaws, and it will forever and always be a classic. But sometimes the acting and special effects were just so bad, I couldn't help but laugh. Also, Jeannot Swartz may be a director, but I'm also convinced he was an artist because the animals in this movie, like the shark and the whale that was attacked, look like they were made out of clay. I mean, I may have taken a college-level marine biology class in high school, but anyone could see that this is fake. Seriously? Aside from the bad acting, special effects, and subpar art skills, it was a pretty good movie, and I'd definitely check it out on Netflix. Despicable Me 3. Saturdays are for the boys, more like Saturdays are for the girls. Nearly 9 years ago, the world fell in love with supervillain Gru, along with the girls Margot, Edith, Agnes, and who can forget the Minions? Well, Gru and the crew are back to stir up some nonsense in their third installment, Despicable Me 3. To be honest, I didn't even know there was a third one. I remember watching the second one in the theater and falling asleep. I'm sure I wasn't that bored. Maybe I was just tired. Anyway, the third film of the famous trilogy is about an unemployed Gru finding his long-lost twin brother in Fredonia after Gru is fired by his new boss of the Anti-Villain League. The reunited brothers form an alliance to defeat Balthazar Bratt, a former 1980s child star who seeks revenge against the world. Steve Carell, who plays Gru in the film trilogy, once again does not disappoint, with his energy and hilarious accent. By the way, I Googled the accent. It's supposed to be Eastern European. I mean, come on, we were all wondering. Directors Pierre Coffin and Kyle Balda did a great job with this movie, but nothing will ever beat the first one. Catch the super ending to this super duper saga on Netflix. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. If you're not familiar with the Indiana Jones series, I feel bad for you. Because I mean, come on, can we please talk about 1980s Harrison Ford for a second? In this sequel, Indiana Jones is in North India on the search for the magical Sakura stone. He is asked by the villagers to find the stone and rescue their children from a cult that practices slavery, black magic, and human sacrifice. Yikes. With his faithful companion Willie Scott, played by actress Kate Capshaw by his side, there is nothing Indy can't do. Or so we think. I mean, this is an action movie after all. Director Steven Spielberg has us on the edge of our seat from beginning to end. The use of special effects are pretty legit, even for the 1980s. This movie is an intense one, no matter how many times you watch it, which for me is a lot. Anyway, if you've been living under a rock and haven't seen the series, you're in luck, because you can watch the movie on your Netflix today. And that's all I got for you today, movie buffs. I hope you got your fill on all news cinematic, and that you're all stuffed up on a bucket list full of sequels to try out next. We truly appreciate the support, and if you have any suggestions on movies you want us to review next, we would love to hear them. Seriously, any excuse to watch a movie instead of doing homework? I'm your host, Hannah Mitchell, and it's been a pleasure checking off yet another flick only on Movie Checklist.